What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Wellness Corner channel. Um, I first of all want to thank everyone who has supported my content up to this point, and especially during the month of May. You know, as we end Lupus Awareness Month, and as we end Mental Health Awareness Month, I really want to take a deep dive into some reflection to a degree, right? Like because this has been something that has weighed heavily on my heart for a very, very long time, and I figured, why not? Why not tap into what I'm feeling emotionally, what I'm thinking, and kind of shed some light and hopefully some hope to uh, other people out there to gain some insight on the mindset of a man with chronic illness, which is why I've named this video "We're Still Men." Um, May of 2022 has been incredibly rough for me, mentally, emotionally, physically, especially, and spiritually in a lot of ways. You know, I go through things daily, right? And I'm going through the process of trying to get this kidney transplant. And for those of y'all who have already, watched videos on my channel, you know that, CJ needs a kidney is a whole hashtag out here because I'm trying to get on the transplant list. And going through the different medical departments, cardiology, rheumatology, my primary care physician, dentistry, you name it, you name the doctor, and I've had to go and see these doctors. And there has been this snowball effect of one bad thing after another, ever since I went and saw dentistry. There and you could go back in previous videos and find out, infection, the whole nine, and it's just triggered a whole lot of things. And you know, it's just really taken a mental and emotional toll on me because uh, in the process of all of this, I've already been, uh, going through things prior to the kidney transplant stuff. COVID taking my kidneys, just the whole nine, man. It's been a rough few months, and so I wanted to give y'all some insight, man. Like, having a chronic illness of any sort is trying. We've got the daily, you know, task of simply getting out of the bed is difficult. The chronic daily pain that we have to basically function in as normal is a very trying thing, y'all. The tons and tons of pills that we have to take, the doctor's appointments, whereby we're constantly being told, especially if you are an African American male with a chronic illness like lupus or any other autoimmune disease, the constantly being told that, you are a medical enigma, and that, it's so surprising and so intriguing, the case that you have, and it's just, it's a it's a it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. And we struggle to find meaning in it all. we struggle to remain positive, almost to the point of, crossing that line over into toxic positivity, and that being a thing that, masks pain and suffering on the cool, you know. And so one of the biggest blows, the most devastating blows, as a man who suffers with a chronic illness, is to, be told that you cannot work. And you know, that's probably the biggest reason why I wanted to record this video in the first place, is because, you are told that you physically cannot work. And as we all know, within this society, the value that is placed on a man is goes as high as his ability to provide and protect for others. You know, you're supposed to be able to take care of a home. You're supposed to be able to cater to and take care of a wife and children if you are a cis heterosexual man. You know what I'm saying? But men in general, regardless of your sexual orientation, your gender identification, your relationship status, etc., your ability to work and produce a thing holds all of your value in the eyes of society. And then to also be told that, you don't you have to worry about your mental capacity to be able to work. Because, and when I say mental capacity, I'm not talking about competence, right? I'm talking about dealing with the depression and the anxiety that comes along with dealing with the daily physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual pressures and stress and trauma that comes with having a chronic illness. And so, trying to, you know, come to the realization only after trying your best to work and ignoring what the doctors are saying and all of those things, only to make yourself worse physically, even more sick, is a real devastating blow. You know, in a lot of ways, I feel like society doesn't care about us as men, when it comes down to having these chronic illnesses. There's a big lack of social programs. And when it comes down to government assistance, man, you could forget about it. They tell you to apply for your SSI, or to apply for your Social Security disability, and you do that, right? But in order to do those things, it in American society, especially, it's like you have to, damn near be pouring under a bridge. And in some cases, I've heard that there have been men who have literally been under a bridge, and by the time they were living under a bridge and completely and totally homeless on the streets, they were finally approved for the Social Security disability, but there was no way for them to claim it. Because by that point, the damage has already been done. Because in order to receive these benefits, you gotta be designated as someone who cannot work. And if you do not work, you do not eat. If you do not work, you aren't able to take care of your bills. You aren't able to take care of yourself in terms of just the daily cost of living, you know. And it's a real thing. And our tasks are to provide and protect. That's it. Anything else out of that, you're told you're a man and you gotta just deal with it, suck it up, and move on. But the problem is that, the dilemma is like, what happens when I'm told and that I can't. And then we try to push past that, we physically end up doing more damage to ourselves. It's like, you know, in a lot of ways, we become damaged goods thrown by the wayside of society. You know, love and relationships become a problem because, there's the feeling that you have of not wanting to be a burden to your partner. Not wanting to turn your partner into a caregiver. That's a real thought that goes through the mind of a man with chronic illness, whether he's managing it well or not. Because when you have a chronic illness, specifically any sort of autoimmune disease, and for me, that's lupus, these diseases are ones that have minds of their own. I can be good one day and be out of there for a month and a half, 2 months. And the level of frustration and emotion and the ups and downs that comes with that, man, that's incredibly taxing. And so, I, your family and your friends, they will tire out. They love you and they support you and they rock with you and they ride with you and all of those things. But everybody tires out. They get tired of inviting you to certain events, to certain outings, to hang out and things like that. But you're too tired, you're too fatigued, you're too exhausted, you're in too much pain. You're not feeling well enough to even get out of the bed, get yourself together to drive where they are. You get tired of asking people for help because no matter how much your family and your friends may love you, that at one point you're gonna exhaust all your resources because no one truly understands what you're going through. And so it leads you to not ask for help at all. It leads you to suffer in silence. But we're still men. And we're not damaged goods. We're still worthy of love and respect and admiration because we're warriors. I struggle with those thoughts a lot because I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter. And I can't envision my life not having some form of independence. I can't envision my life without love and having a family. But this thing is hard. And fellas, you are not alone. You're not alone, man. If you're watching this, and I don't know how many people will ever see this, but like, man, if you're watching this and you know someone with a chronic illness, you know a man with a chronic illness, please show him some grace. Please understand that when he withdraws and he separates himself, it's not because he hates you or anybody. It's just the pain and the suffering becomes so much that you have to isolate yourself. You have to distance yourself. You have to go into solitude so that you can at least try to discover some sort of peace. It's probably one of my longest videos, but brothers, sisters, Remember to maintain your mentals. Take care of yourself. Peace.